take away Cassidy instead. And paiN, you're expecting that Gragas to be picked up here. They're kind of sitting there, waiting to pick what they want. And
yeah, there's
looks
the
like
first
you're right.
Gragas. Yeah, definitely ban the Fizz for that. And they ban LeBlanc too, which is kind of an even matchup, but I don't think they'd want to deal with it.
Yeah, we saw how damn good Kerp is on the LeBlanc.
Yeah, pretty scary stuff.
2 times he's played, and how much work he's done to a Gragas in that matchup. But we see Millenium, they're hovering over Annie, and they're hovering over Lucian. It seems like Cretan and Jerry are really comfortable with that lane.
Yeah, I really like that lane. It's one of the safest lanes you can possibly pick. Doesn't really have any counter picks or lane matchups where you'd be like, oh my god, I don't want to play in this. Probably the hardest lane matchup would be like a Caitlyn Leona or maybe an Ezreal Leona. Something that can match them in that burst potential, in that range. Yeah, it looks like they want to take away that Lee Sin from RNA as well, and I don't blame him on that. He was everywhere on the map.
And it looks like we're going to see Venom not longer on that Trundle, can actually take away Renekton towards that top side. And I wonder, does that leave Heaven open to pick Olaf again? Or is there something else he wants to go for here?
I don't think Olaf's quite as good into Renekton as into that Trundle, especially with the camping that RNA put down. But I think Renekton's definitely a safer pick. There's not that many counter picks, but there are a couple they can put into him. And remember, we saw that top lane Yasuo do so good against that Jax, and I believe we also saw it played into a Renekton earlier in the tournament, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, both the times he seemed to do pretty good.
Yeah, in that game versus Renekton, actually, he had a little bit of a tough time at the beginning, but like once he finished his static shiv, it was over. Like he could completely deal with them 1v1. It was interesting to see, and right now we're having Millenium sit on Syndra and Morgana. Obviously, probably not going to see that, but
I mean, I can see the Syndra, to be honest, but I don't know about the Morgana.
Well, looks like Syndra will be picked up. We're going to have balls flying everywhere here, and we're going to see Aranea on that Vi.
Yeah, Vi is a pretty standard jungle pick. Gonna be, I guess they would have something to lock down that Gragas, but they haven't really seen what their AD carry pick is yet. If they have a jump ability or not. But I think Gragas is really the only person on that team that Vi can really focus. So I'm not 100% feeling that Vi pick. But I think you can pretty good if she grabs an Nectin to a certain point in the game, where Syndra gets a certain amount of damage. They're instantly kill whoever Vi ults. It doesn't matter if they pick, it can be the tankiest member on the team, and Syndra's just going to pop them.
And I wonder how this is going to work around level 6 for Aranea, where if he hits his ultimate onto Gragas, then you have an easy stun from Kerp to follow that up with the ultimate. It's a lot of damage, and BRTT, you can hear the crowd, he was one of the first, if not the first in Brazil to start playing Draven. He did phenomenally well on it in the game we saw yesterday, and he's going to be able to pick it up again. Yeah,
doesn't he have Draven axes tattooed on his forearms?
There's always one that too.
Yeah, he's the one with the Draven axes tattooed. I don't know. But then the Zarya there, so I guess they're going to use that for disengage when the Vi does decide to hard engage. But I haven't seen that lane in so long, a Draven Zarya. I haven't seen a Draven or a Zarya in forever for that matter. So I'm kind of interested to see how this lane works out. And the Mundo's an excellent pick here. Really good pick in Renekton. You don't really lose to Renekton, you just kind of farm it out. But eventually you can get a couple items go. So the late Mundo pick over the Shyvana though. Maybe he feels a little more comfortable with that though.
Well, it looks like that Shyvana will get locked versus Gragas middle. We'll have that Draven and that Zarya versus this Lucian and this Annie bottom lane. And we're going to have that Lee Sin versus Vi in the jungle. Which comp? You were talking about you were nuts with their picks and bans in that first game, but now they have a comp that I would say is a little bit better and more towards their style.
I think that their team comp makes a lot more sense this game. They have a good counter engage to protect the Draven in case he does. And they also have nice little AoE damage to split around. So I think as long as I think it's going to get decided in just a big team fight. But I think the lane to watch out for this game is going to be that mid lane. That Syndra's going to put a ton of pressure on that Gragas. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some early kills out of that lane. It depends on how aggressive the Syndra is. I've seen Syndras that will all in you like
1v1 duel.
Yeah, but they'll all in them to blow that flash. Right. And then the jungler will just come in. Collect the free kill. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Syndra actually has a lot of poke damage. So yeah, I think he's probably going to try to go for an all-in.
All right, well, paiN, they're on the back foot here. They are down 0-1 in the Best of 3 in the grand finals at Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo. The first Brazilian team ever to make it into semis, let alone the grand finals. And right now they have their fans behind them, their country behind them in the audience, but they haven't been able to pick up a map just yet. And you like this comp a little bit better. We have a lot of comp picks with Gragas. We have Draven. We have Renekton in the top end for Venom. This is their chance to finally pull it back to take it 1-1. And I honestly hope so, because paiN, we know they're a strong team, and we like to see the scene develop quite a bit here. And I want to see them be able to take Millenium to this third map.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a third match. I think it'd be a pretty good game, and I definitely like that they're on a little bit better champions that they're more comfortable with. So I think we're going to see a lot better game out of paiN.
All right, well, let's talk about any level 1 action, because in the game just prior, we saw paiN. They went around through, well, they're on the red team. They went around through the bottom lane and went straight towards that tri-bush, but that's where Kevin was sitting. And then you have the rest of Millenium waiting right around the corner to turn that around.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to go for any heavy invades on the paiN side after that happened. Yeah, I think that, yeah, you can even see them painting like, yo, we just want to do the line of scrimmage. We're not going to try to throw the game in the early game again. Because Millenium read them like a book. They were sitting there waiting. They knew exactly what they were going to do. So I don't think Millenium's going to let themselves get caught off guard like that again.
All right, well, we're having them set up just like you were talking about. And we have Arne watching over towards his red bucket. Surti sitting in. Is he actually going to go with this? Oh, he's actually checking with Q. So.
Yeah, the word's not quite up yet.
And I really want to know how this is going to work in terms of, let's talk about the matchups. You said you haven't seen Draven and Zyra too much, but walk us through your thought process when it comes to this matchup versus this Lucian Annie that you said is so safe and so nice to play.
I honestly would give it to either person. If that Zyra gets flash engaged on, though, she could potentially die instantly. I mean, Annie Lucian can do a pretty good amount of burst damage, but the Draven does not put ATR in lane, and if they do engage on that Zyra, they could die pretty fast.
And one thing you have to keep in mind is when we were casting paiN versus Isurus yesterday, the adoration stacks. We have to mention that because he just spiked out of nowhere so many items because of that one kill he got. It really transitioned him into a very strong mid game.
Yeah, I've seen LCS matches where Draven will get plugged. So that's a really nice thing to have on Draven. I really like Draven. He can do long range damage with his ultimate. And he just does an insane amount of damage at all points of the game. So Draven's definitely one of my favorite AD carries to play with.
BRTT, he's damn good at it. I mean, he is so perfect on. We saw Freeze on European LCS. He's the guy to think about when we talk about Draven, as we see a little bit of aggression already break out here in the bottom side. Remember, last time we did see this.
Something to actually I want to point out about this game, this is something I've been noticing happening a lot more, is nobody is pulling for the buy. A lot of teams nowadays are not pulling for their junglers. They want to get into lane as fast as possible, and they want to push that lane up to get that level 2 advantage. And on top of that, they don't want people to know where their jungler started. Usually you see people down from the blue buff, or they come down a little late, and you can see them, and you're like, oh, and it gives you a lot of information. So a lot of teams are doing nowadays.
Yeah, especially when you see the fact that you can't really afford imports in pool
yep.
because of how little they lost. A very good point brought out, and actually, I'll start playing my solo queue games a little bit more. I'm thinking about that before I start helping the jungler out. If he said, "Why aren't you pulling for me?" I'd be like, "Sync said I don't have to."
There you go, blame it on me.
It's not pain. Either way, we do have both junglers going to be between the red buff here, and paiN have been able to shove this lane in here. 12-9 CS lead.
Yeah, fast. I mean, Zyra too. So I think they just keep the pushed up. He's not even trying to last hit or trim the minions with last inning. He just wants to auto attack it over and over again and keep this wave pushed up so far so they can poke them.
And they do have that ward down to spot anyone coming in as well, and they realize it's very early in the game. Arne is probably not going to need any help as the Sanaside does get used right there, and it does push Jaden to the side. Gets a little bit of good damage onto him, but Creatin's managing able to turn it back to BRT. So he forced off that health pot, and I'd say I guess paiN kind of didn't come out ahead of that with the trade.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really like the aggression that's coming at him on that.
Well, we do have Venom shoving up top lane as well, so it looks like every lane is just being very aggressive. However, Kami's having a little bit of a tough day to stay very, very.
Yeah, Gragas so much the same to his passive. He regenerates a percentage of his health every time he uses his ability, so it's going to be a little bit hard to burst him out early, and I guess the Syndra felt a little uncomfortable. He didn't want to go for that all-in, so I think he's just going to try to farm this out till 6.
Arne busy that top side. Venom able to run away from that one scotch-free, but just take a little bit of damage off. But at least for Arne, it allows Surti to start running around, maybe invade that top side as well and really go for a feed. Down about half health, still has somewhat of a CS advantage here. Surti, he's still going towards the top side. He's going to be spotted out by this ward here.
Yeah, Arne actually seems to really favor ganking the top lane early. I think a lot of his goal in a lot of these games is to get Kevin rolling. He wants to revisit that lane again after he clears jungle.
Right now you do see Surti visiting that yet again, and Kevin just going to stick around. Has that burnout, is going to be able to escape bottom lane though. BRTT getting pushed very low as he has to engage, come out of Millenium. He's dropped down very low now, but does dodge that Q out nervous, so he's able to run away, but they force BRTT back after so long in the middle. Surti actually getting caught here. He's being forced to flash. He goes down, and Kurt picks up the kill, gets a red buff off of that, and that is not a thing you want to see when Kurt has an auto attack range already. Yeah,
that's just that that stun combo that we were talking about. If Bai hits a Vault Breaker or Sentry hits a stun, it's guaranteed that you're going to have follow-up, and that's so much burst damage that's going to be coming up. And you just layer that CC, and there's going to be no escape.
We're seeing Kevin spinning around a little bit here, and the offside has a little bit more health than he does, but obviously can't sustain quite a bit with that Q. We do see RNA though counter jungling just a little bit. Looks like he might go for that white camp, but he might even go for a dive on this top side, because if you look at Bennett's health, he's about half life right now, and I think Kevin's going to go to hit level 6 right before him. But look, we have ping coming down.
Over that wall, get out. Looks like Venom wants to try to catch him here, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Unless he flash stuns him.
Well, we do see Arne actually getting caught towards the top side. I missed out on that one, but paiN does pick up the kill. They managed to lock him down. I'm not sure exactly how that went down, but either way, they get the kill on a Venom.
Yeah,
that is definitely top lane.
I feel like RNA ran in the wrong direction. I thought that he was going to end up running. Yeah, I thought he was going to end up running towards the mid lane. Instead, he ran towards top lane. He allowed Renekton to close that distance and just get the free stun on him. So I think that's a pretty big mistake out of RNA there.
Yeah, we do see. Unfortunately, a little bit cocky. I mean, I like the always is counter jungling, but when the team finally figures it out and able to turn it around, he got punished very well for it. And right now, Kami level 6. He's heading down towards the bottom side. I'm not sure if he's going to be spotted though, unless he goes over this wall. He's not going to be spotted coming in. This could be huge if we do see that grasping roots land. We could see Creedson go down. He's not healthy. He does have Barry, doesn't much. It does land. The barrel comes out of Gragas. They're good. BRTT gets some on a turn. He might go down the impact touch. Jerry picks it up. Unfortunately, not there until to be able to back this one up.
I gotta say, that was a pretty nice combo, and I think because it was rooted, it didn't knock with the Gragas ultimate. So they were able to just layer damage on top of that. But of course, it cost BRTT his life, so not quite sure that was good for him. And he also didn't get the kill for that, so his adoration stacks not gonna count for that.
A little bit unfortunate right there, but I bet you Kami is very carries his team with Orianna earlier on. And now the Gragas, and he has that one kill. Compared to Kerp, who's already able to pick up that one onto him, onto Surti a little bit earlier on. And right now we're going to see blue buff picked up here. It's going to get scary because Kerp is level 6. Arnea, he's approaching level 6. He's almost there. He's going to be off this blue buff. And you're expecting, if he ganks mid lane and focuses down the Gragas, there could be a lot of kills coming in.
Yeah, if you layer that CC from the buy, and you have the guaranteed stun behind it, and then of course you're going to get a free Vault Breaker right behind that. It's 3 stuns you can layer. I don't think that Greg is going to make it on that.
Right now, Kurt able to get that blue buff finally, and Kami has his as well. Taking a look at early CS, we do have a slight advantage for Kurt, but I'm assuming that's what you're going to expect. Arnea, though, he's visiting this bottom lane, he's going for a gank on a BRTC, trying to punish him, and unfortunately is able to escape, but Minerva gets stunned up right there. Creedson layering on the din, goes for a back away, and that's actually used, or Arnea's ultimate actually was used in that little bit of exchange.
I'm actually pretty surprised that he visited the bottom lane. I mean, the wave was sort of pushed up, but not quite that far. So unless everybody hit their abilities perfectly together, I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill off of that, because the Zyra can just strangling roots to get a disengage and make sure nobody follows up the damage. So I really think he needs to be focusing presence lane and controlling that dragon.
Jerry, he has hit level 6. As you see paiN instantly back away right now. All it takes that one Timber Stun to really open this up, and Millenium doing a fantastic job. They have been able to build up the CS lead bottom lane because of that dive we saw earlier on towards the top side. I see Surti as well. No, picking up that one kill on Arnea.
Looks like I'm off, just because both of the champions decided to offer the Sunfire build, so nobody's really going to do enough damage to kill each other unless somebody really makes a large mistake.
Surti, there's no ward there. He's looking for that gank bottom lane. All it takes is that, but not level 6 just yet. He'll be able to get it on this way at the exact time to make this happen, but Surti going to walk straight into that ward. And going to back away, and no harm done to either team.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're timing Annie's ultimate, because they knew when she used it last, so they have to know that it's not up.
You see him, like they want to win, they want to get the first potential open off. Arnea, he's visiting the top side right now, and this could be very dangerous for Event, because he's overextended a little bit over towards that top side. Actually, he's going to go in for, he will have his ultimate momentarily here. Kevin going to be the first one to go in. They're going to get that Q right onto him. They do get the knockup. They do get the red buff slow as well. Venom going to get actually attacked straight on by Kevin, who pushes him away a little bit. Are they able to get Not just yet. They have very low under the breath. They're looking for your RNA. Gonna get the damage down onto him. Gonna take him. He's gonna back up. Kevin's gonna pick that up. Kevin's gonna stun up the turret, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna be able to escape. They're gonna pick up a nice kill. In the meantime, bottom lane, J-Re getting very low on health. I'm assuming that is actually Minerva using that ultimate, forcing them away, and this might potentially have opened up.
Sure about that. Six have a pretty good grasp on mid lane, so I'm not sure they're going to go for the risk on that. If Syndra ends up popping somebody while they're trying to take Dragon, it could be really bad for them. And I gotta say, it's a really nice gank top lane. I'm pretty surprised that the Nectin was greedy with his slice and dice, and he didn't get out earlier.
Oh, Jack gets the Sun Minerva getting further left. Creature some down here. Willing to escape. Gets taken down. The backside. BRTT going straight for J-Re. He's going to get the kill. He's going to get the adoration stacks, but he's going to go down for this. And in fact, it's a double kill over to Cretan.
You know what's so strange about that situation? You're like, oh, well, they traded 2 for 1. Like, that's so good for Millenium. But Draven's 6 or I think 10 gold for that kill. So basically come out in almost the same situation, despite the fact that, of course, they're going to get the dragon pressure off of that. But just for gold and those kills, they made the same gold off it.
SRT as well. Maybe burst it down. Do get the actual lockdown with RNA. Coming straight from taking away with that ignite. The barrel, unfortunately, not going to land. RNA should be able to escape this, but SRT, unfortunately, not able to land that Q. Millenium going to get away with that dragon.
Yeah, RNA is definitely one of the slipperiest junglers that I've seen.
There's a joke there somewhere, but
maybe not today.
Either way, the dragon, they do get to go for that. They do have that 2,000 lead, 11.5 minutes in here. Cretan, he's now 2-1, and you talk about BRTT and how, you know, a 1 for 2 trade, probably good for Millenium, you'd say, but with extra gold he got, he has a BF sold between the two, 8 very only down about not even 100 gold.
A lot of that gold, actually, I think all that gold comes from that dragon that they just picked up. I think they ended up coming out with the same amount of gold on the 2 exchanges, though.
Kevin definitely showing this lane in. He does have almost a Sunfire Cape completed. Venom has been able to finish his, and I really want to see if bottom lane's going to go for Engage in the meantime. So he does have his ultimate. And bottom lane, I mean, we're talking about, you know, Cretan and Jerry, I was mentioning it, that they weren't really shining through. They did it definitely well last game. But paiN's bottom lane, when do shine, they're able to win games on the back of BRTT, but right now, he's not doing a bad job of it. He's really keeping in there. Yeah,
it looks like this lane is like really back and forth. You gotta have to remember, like, both junglers have been down there over and over again. So I think it's a pretty even bottom lane matchup. They look like they're.
We have Sergi coming up towards his top side, or at least RNA is. He's gonna be spotted by that ward though. And he's gonna give that blue over to Gragas. In the meantime, Venom playing very safe with that Sunfire Cape done. Currently on about right there, but never getting caught by, and looks like he's only getting taken down, but Cretan isn't able to pick up the kill. Now they're turning on BRTT here. The stun not just yet for Jerry. Doesn't have flash to capture him just yet, but he's getting a perfect angle and he dodges the grass for heroes. Will he be able to get the stun? He hasn't been able to. No, it just barely misses. And paiN gonna do escape for that, but you see the pressure that Millenium was able to apply with that.
Yeah, but Zyra is so good for disengaging. I just missed a shot of that. But I think they might lose their turret for that. I mean, they got the timbers that can also take the turret as well. Take like 3 or 4 turret shots, and be able to turret really hard.
He's sticking around. He does some pretty good damage to creatures, as you just saw it there. But RNA, he's coming down the bomb side. He was spotted by Ward, but he has his ultimate available. Can he actually land on top of it? Because if he does, BRTT's most likely gonna go down. Instead, they back away. Surtees gonna be joining the fight down bottom, as well as coming from the middle lane. This time, Kurt is gonna be towards the top side.
Yeah, I think he's just going to farm Raves though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kurt's main goal right now is just to farm as much as possible, so you get that late game point talking about, where they can just follow up the Vi ultimate and just instantly kill somebody, no matter how much health they have. So I think his main goal right now is just to farm like a madman.
He's been doing it very well. Oh, they do get the stun onto him. The ultimate comes out of RNA. Do they have the damage to burst him down? He separates him completely. RNA getting very low. He picks up the kill. Gunner T is almost flipping that fight around completely.
And that was that combo I was talking about earlier in the game. I'm really surprised that RNA didn't go for that a lot more, because you saw how far up that Gragas was. Like, he was right by his turret, and he still died. It's just so much burst damage coming out of them that if you get caught, you're probably dead.
If I'm not mistaken, Kurt had hit level 11 right before that fight broke out, so he had that extra bit of damage to top it off. He thinks a Holy Grail done, and he must be selling a little bit of money 1300, not the most in the world. Kevin going to be backing away with that 1700, so he's going to be able to pick up that Sunfire Cave momentarily.
Yeah, I think Curb's just going to try to farm a couple more waves and just get that needlessly large rod. He's probably pretty close to it.
And actually getting shoved out. Maybe saw Kevin backing away on the minimap, but he's actually sticking around here, going to shove another wave. It looks like maybe tonight a little bit for CS win. And Venon's been doing a lot better job this game. The thing was, it wasn't his fault last game. It's not like he was sucking. It was just because of that early pressure that RNA applied. But he's keeping up the CS. He's keeping up tank-wise.
Well, I gotta say is also they did give up 2 Sorcerer's Boots. So I think he just wants to focus all his time on farming. And I thought he would go try to farm his race before he went back and try to get the needlessly large rod. But it seems like he needs to focus on staying and lengthening that pressure to make sure that Kami can't roam. Because if she's in there pushing mid over again, Kami can't help his lanes out.
And now we see Cersei coming in the grass race, not gonna land. The Stranglethorn's gonna pop up. Jerry's gonna get caught. BRTT's chasing out Creaton. As they have the flash out, Jerry, the stun on a BRTT. Millenium trying to run away here. It looks like they have the damage to turn this one in their favor, as we do have Gargusel coming out. Kami gets the kill right. He does. He threw it to keep him away from the put up. He gets the damage on a Minerva. Uses the ulti. He's gonna go down. Millenium able to trade 1-for-1 there, but will it be more? He gets knocked to the side. And Curb is now very low in life as Creaton trying to chase him down. We see RNA coming in from the back. This can be very dangerous. He has the splash. He has the ultimate. This can be very bad. Cersei, pay attention as he's able to turn around. RNA, he was there for this dive to keep. And there's gonna be.
I don't think it's going to matter. He just instantly thought that
Now
might be able to pick up SRT.
And he's going to go down. Curb picks that one up, so we're going to see Millenium come out ahead, picking up those 3 kills. And can Kami escape this? He's trying to back away. RNA is pick up this turret. I think he knows his life is going to be dead here. He's going to have to keep this up. Maybe get the kill on RNA. Solo Ivy. Let's go down. Creeps up. And that is 4 kills for 1 death.
Yeah, I gotta say, Dragon's coming up as well, so that's gonna be a lot of global gold that's coming out for them. And I'm pretty sure once they go back and buy, they're gonna go pick up that bottom turret as well. It's a pretty big lead that Millenium's gonna pick up off this, and that's gonna hurt them a lot. Because that's gonna give him just start killing anything. You saw how much damage he did there. He hit Zyre with not even the ultimate, just the opening part of his ability.
Right.
Almost instantly killed him with just that. So you can imagine what he's gonna do with somebody once he actually gets some real items.
Yeah, with those raids picked up, he's going to have anything to large drop. If he does, we go for it here. But let's talk about what paiN can do. I was not out at all. They're only down about 5,000 gold. What do they need to do here? Do they need to stop getting picked off? Do they need to start winning up a little bit more? I mean, what's their game plan? What should they be doing?
It's just, to be honest, I think it's a little bit of mechanical failure. Just not getting these nice plays off. They're not getting these kills. Like, you see people running away with like 100 life. Everybody's narrowly making out on both sides, and I think paiN is getting a little unlucky on. They're not quite picking up the kills that they need to get right now.
One thing we do see though, as BRTT picks up the turret on the bottom lane, it's a lot of ways out of both teams. Down towards, we're going to see everyone rotating through, but look at Millenium. Yeah. Because of Kevin being pushed up so far, he's been able to get a lot of aggressive wards down here.
Yeah, that's the difference between the two is you see Millenium's wards are all on the enemy side of the jungle, whereas paiN Gaming's wards are more...
Move up, going to be stolen away by R, not that one. Cersei going to clear up the camp right there, and Curb. He has an Easter Large Rod. He's been able to return to pick up with that one, but he's getting to that point that you've been talking about, that when he gets a little bit of AP, a little bit of items, he becomes so deadly. Now R and Venom, he's not very healthy either as Kevin though. He does use the ultimate right onto him. Venom being chased away. The ultimate pot, the Ignite taken away. He's gonna go down to R and A. Kevin though.
It was pretty popular in the preseason, and then for some reason everybody randomly forgot about her. And I think she's still a really powerful pick.
Yeah, I think it was Link, if I'm not mistaken, on CLG who first brought it into the LCS in North America, and then we saw Bjergsen using it quite a bit over in Europe, and we're seeing top lane still battle out here. RNA doesn't want to get this one up. Cersei very low on life. He's gonna Iron Will away, but right now look what Kami's doing. He lost you, or at least Kami.
Yeah, once he gets that def cap, it's going to be bad news for that Gragas. I don't think he's going to be able to hold the mid lane against him, because if he gets one stun, he's probably going to just pop Kami. Like, he's just going to die in one little combo. Even with that Athene's Unholy Grail and the Doran, I don't think he's going to be able to survive it.
Right now, you see bottom lane Millenium, they have not given up whatsoever. They're keeping this pressure on. They're shoving it in. taking so much damage. BRTT almost able to pick up that kill himself, but he was pushed away by Jerry, as we see Xerxes even potentially coming to help them out here, but at least they are doing this out. RNA though, he's pushed up towards the blue. He's able to catch out on Venom here. He doesn't really have anyone to back him up just yet, as Kevin is coming in from the side, but so is Kami. He does use the ultimate. He's trying to stall for as long as possible, but I don't think he's going to have the backup just yet. He's still not getting up. He's going in for this pull one out. This RNA now forced to pretty much back away, forced to flash out of Venom, and now they're switching straight up Kami. He's the ultimate, gets RNA right on the turret. RNA solo on life, the ignite. Will it be enough to take him away? But no, we see Venom actually died in the hands of Kevin. RNA is able to survive as well, but we did not see, unfortunately, BRTT picking up a kill on a Jeremy bottom.
I wish Draven ult was up right now. Just, oh, never mind. There's
exactly what they kind of need to get back in this. A little bit of gold across the board.
RNA has this really aggressive playstyle where he just basically doesn't care about anything. He's just going to be all up in your jungle. He's going to be diving you, but there's some risks that come with that, and he just tried to tower dive right in front of his team, and he paid the price for it.
He's in Kurt, not afraid of Sortier, though. You see damage just one. The ultimate, it's not going to be enough damage, but it will have to pressure him away, which...
That was actually a mistake on Curve's part. He tried to do a flash ultimate, and the way Syndra's ultimate works is it does more damage for the more balls you have out. So he didn't use any abilities before that, so his ultimate didn't do the maximum amount of damage it could have done, so a little bit of a mistake out of Curve on that.
And unfortunately for him, he doesn't get the kill, but at least it looks like they will be able to pick up the turret off of that. So in the end, with that happening, he still gets some sort of advantage from it. And look at the CS lead that he's been able to build up middle, and with that turret going down, he's going to have that death cap when he backs away.
One thing I do like about Curve is he likes... If you saw the last game when they like, I don't care if it's going to kill you, I don't care what this does. I'm just going to use this so you get over the turret. And he didn't care if he got that Gragas kill or not. He just wants him to get off the turret so they can just take it. And I really like that he does that.
And he's now 3-0-1. And you're talking about his transition, doing a fantastic job really transitioning back into a kind of play in middle. And right now, Millenium, they're not letting the foot off the gas. They're still trying to push every lane. Kevin is still shoving down top lane. Currently has a nice 30 to 40 CS lead over Venom.
Yeah, I'm wondering if paiN is actually going to try to contest this dragon. He picked up the death cap on Curve now, so I think if they catch any...
And I think is we're just waiting for that moment. And Curve, he has the death cap done. He's going to that stuff. He has so much CS. Let's see how many ability power he actually has. Sitting on 361, only 23 minutes in. That is dangerous.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. I think some of the squishier targets are just going to flat out die if he comes near them.
Even the not squishy targets. I mean, Vantage probably a bit of survive just because he has some mattresses paying just yet. Maybe one little combo picking up, but Curve defending against this 4-met push. In the meantime, you are seeing the rest of Millenium waiting for that dragon to come up in 1 second.
Yeah, it looks like Shyvana's coming down. She knows that the Renekton's busy top and he's having to control that wave. And he's going to be late for this. Just thinking, but I don't think he's going to get there in time.
Curve gets the stun on a Sertico, and he flashes and gets the stun. He's trying to pierce. The Shaken Thorn separates them completely. Perfectly low place out of Minerva and RNA. He's still committing for this fight. He has the red buff. He's getting the slow, but instead, they back away. They're comfortable with just getting Dragon, and no kills. That's solo on life, or did I speak too soon? They're gonna go back in. He hits a hit in a minute, but the Nightbirds does hold it back. He gets set up and again. Another slow coming in, and Millenium is just able to poke them down so well. But gotta give credit to Minerva. That string of thorns completely separated Millenium and probably saved a couple of people's lives.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody died from this. And I really like about Millenium. Instead of going back to base or going to go, and then people are chunking, they're just going to put pressure on this bottom turret and not get any breathing room.
Alright, he is very low on life. He's chased down by Xerxes. He needs to be careful not to overextend just a little bit too much because Millenium, they're still stuck together. Look at Curve. He's coming around from the backside. He could turn this around if he can hit one stun or something. RNA being forced back. They know that Curve is there. Will they turn around and will they go for the fight onto him? They do at least zone him out with the barrel. And Venom. About this, you do see the Talisman pop, and nothing else able to back them up here in the battles. It's never ending, but there's no kills happening.
Yeah, this is kind of anticlimactic, I guess. Like, all right, these builds on each other. Oh, you're low health? Okay, let me get out of this real quick. We're gonna back off now. Truce.
No kills coming in, but Millenium able to pick up the dragon off. He's just back to steal away anything he possibly can, though that blue buff will be kept over. He's just dragging away as far as possible. He's like, no, you cannot get this. This is mine. If you're throwing it up there, can you actually pick it up? No, it's going to be set all the way back. I'm going to watch that blue buff waddle back to that spot.
The marathon runner. That's one of my favorite things about Syndra is you just start trolling people, just running off with their blue buff.
That was a funny waddle, too, for that blue buff. But either way, they're going to be able to give it over to Kami, I would assume. Unless that plant does steal it away. No, he is able to pick it up. And Kirk still sitting towards a paiN up there. And
yeah, they can definitely dive, but I'm just going to back on time. Kami actually lot of AD now. Def Cap complete and the advance.
And that is a dead Minerva. All it takes is that one stun, and Kevin has a lot of damage with that Blade of the Rune King finish. He also has a Sunfire Cape and a Negatron Cloak, and RNA, he's waiting for something here. He has ultimate available. He's going to see combat. Will they commit in for this? He does have the ultimate. He's going to use it here, but doesn't have the back. There to help him, and I'm not sure if that's participation or what. Fiercely stops the Q, stops the ball breaker. They're going all in for it, but he's in kill ultimate, and they get one nice trade right there. Not to mention the adoration stacks, but now Kevin coming in from the backside, Cretan coming in as well. They're using everything they possibly can to escape this one. Certainly, is he going to kick them back? Is he going to use this to? So going over to Kevin, he's chasing J-Reed down. He is not giving up whatsoever. Will he get this time? Gonna get the kill here, and they're gonna pick up 2 off of that. And look how low Millenium is across the board. Cretan's blinking red, Kevin's blinking red, and Venom. He's so hard to push out. He's so damn tanky.
Yeah, I gotta say, I have no idea. Getting pickoffs on a lot of people, but there's no way that he has enough damage to kill that Gragas into the turret. So huge mistake out of him, and that's gonna not really put paiN back in the game. It's gonna give him a little bit of breathing room.
I think it also helped him not be able to do anything for the majority of this game, but he just took grab the half cup of the gold lead. It's under 10,000 right now, and you should watch the items that we see coming in here. Big Sunfire Cape and Spectral Cloud now done for Kevin. And look at those AD carries.
Yeah, I really like the Shyvana build with the Blade of the Rune King, because not only can he scrap out the Renekton very well, but he's going to have another slow that he can use in the Draven if he wants to dive in on him. So between the Vi and the Shyvana that are going to be picking up, I don't think you're going to be getting out of that. So really good pickup on him. And Vi is actually going for that Brutalizer and the full tank build. I think he just wants to itemize completely against that Draven and that Renekton. I think he needs to get a little bit of magic with this though. I mean, that Gragas is going to now. Void Staff now as well. So I think he might want to pick up Negatron Cloak after he finishes his Randuins. And I'm pretty surprised that Kurt and Kami are so close to gold right now, though. They have very similar items at this point in the game, even though Kurt's been getting so many good roam plays off, so much global gold.
All right, now see the anti-stun come in onto paiN. They're going to dive straight into this. String of Thorns knocks up almost every single member of Millenium. Creates him very low by that Gragas ultimate. Certainly goes shredded and gets knocked down. Kevin trying to survive as he's trying to run away here. I didn't see actually the Zyra ultimate go off, or the Zyra passive, but they pick up 2 very quick kills, and they just
controlling Baron at this point in the game. They have very good potential, and what I want to see from them is they need to go right back to Baron. They need to get that bottom wave pushed out with the Lucian, and then once all these waves are pushed out, it would be so good to see them just go right back to Baron and vision control like that again. Because they can just keep rinsing and repeating this and picking off these free kills over and over again. Yeah, just really hope they don't go back to farming the lanes, and they need to control this Baron.
And one thing I kind of want to talk about, BRTC, you know, had a tough time in lane. He's 3-3-1 now. He's able to fight back, and I want to say because the adoration, look at the two 80 carries total gold, pretty much dead even right now, and with the extra spike of gold he got, he has 3 major items completed. He's actually ahead of Cretan in terms of that.
Yeah, I think the adoration stacks made up for all the global gold that they lose out on. It's going to be pretty close in items, so be pumping out pretty similar amount of damage though.
Getting caught again, there's the kill, coming in for J-Reed. That was almost too easy for Millenium, and it goes back to that vision control. There's only 1 super lens for paiN, but they're just still not even able to get all the wards down that they're looking for. And you see Millenium, they invested into 3 of those trinkets, trying to clear out everything they possibly can. And you see the rest of, is he actually spotted? No, now he's actually spotted over for paiN game. They're gonna start shoving Mill here instead. They're gonna get Baron up. And are they able to get any turrets off of this?
I'm actually pretty surprised they didn't try to fight for that. I mean, I know their jungler's down, it's a 4v5, and they don't have too much vision. But I think they saw the Annie, they have the ward in there. It's not that they all just jump over the wall right now. So, kind of surprised they just gave up that Baron that easily.
And then they pushed middle and didn't accomplish anything off it either.
Yeah, but I'm really happy with how Millenium played that. They pushed out that bottom wave, they had all the waves pushed, and then they just rinsed and repeated on that vision control and getting those catches. And you can basically morally defeat your enemy by getting kills on them to where they'll just the Baron like they just did.
Because Millenium's been doing that all tournament long. You know, Kurt will say on the block, but do that to burst one down instantly. But they love using, I'll just show you this position. I mean, either here or here, they've been just sitting and really creating some opportunities. And it's unfortunate, but right now, paiN, they're struggling for a response. It's down 8 to 16 kills, 30 minutes, down 15, almost 4,000 gold.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that's one of the things that I've really noticed that separates a lot of the teams in this tournament is the objective control. And Millenium, of course, they're an LCS team. They play against other high-level teams that have a really good grasp of objective control. And if you can't control objectives like Baron and jungle and buffs, you're going to lose the game. And it just seems like paiN and some of the other teams just don't really have a full grasp.
Right now you're seeing Kami forced to mash away, not winning, he's stunned out there, he definitely would have been dead. But he is pretty much hurt, doesn't have that extra use of large rod, but he still has quite a bit of ump to his attacks. He used the random element finish for RNA. See, RNA actually runs straight in here into the backline onto Minerva, forces him away from the turret. It looks like that turret finally will fall, will go down. We see Kevin in the backside, let's bring it. The stun comes out on 2 people! The ultimate comes out of Annie and stuns him up. Bennett to the ground, that's 2 quick kills. Mirror TT goes down as well, and we're gonna see Minerva escape here, but this rest of Millenium with that Baron buff, they're gonna get an inhibitor turret and an inhibitor.
Yeah, and I'm saying it doesn't matter what target you go on. That Renekton just died in collateral damage from all the bursts that they have at this point. And you have so many people flying at this Draven. The Zyra ultimate, it's not going to be enough to disengage this. It's just too much damage coming at him.
What is that Shringathor? I mean, he's been using them very well, place him in perfect positions, but it's just kind of not enough in Millenium. Are they going to go for the finish here? Are they going to go for the perfect 2-0 in the Grand Finals in Extreme match with Sao Paulo? And they just burst out, completely caught me. They're going to go for the next turn. The first one's going to fall here. They're going to go for the second one. Only Minerva and Certainty are the only ones to really hold them back. The second one does fall. They're going to go for the next turn here. Millenium coming into this, not dropping one single map the entire tournament. Are going to close this out in the Grand Finals and place first here at Intel Extreme match with Sao Paulo. Look how happy they are.
I love RNA, man. He goes so high, it's ridiculous.
He's not afraid to show his emotions, and he really is doing it. They are so proud of themselves. They've had such a tough time in LCS, and to come into this, to not drop a single map, it kind of does reward them and get that little bit of a motivation or morale boost that they needed.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be a confidence booster when they go back to the LCS, and I think that's going to help them out a lot. And it's also a nice little chunk of change for them, too.
I wouldn't complain with $15,000.
Yeah, and yeah, the same team seems really happy. They seem pumped up on this. I really hope that they go back to LCS this week and just take it home.
Now we're going to see how that's going to affect them. And paiN Gaming, I mean, we have to give some credit. Getting to the Grand Finals, beating out Ocelot World, beating out many teams to get here. They played phenomenally well. And they also showed the world that, you know, Brazil, they're not that far behind. They could easily pass up any of these teams. And they got some great experience from this international tournament. They got some great experience against Millenium. And I really want to give them credit for that.
Yeah, I think they just need a little bit better work. I mean, they have individually talented. You saw their bottom lane matched up against Cretan and Cretan and J-Ree, and it looks like a really easy match, or really even matchup. Kami matched up pretty well against Kurt. Outside of that game with the Trundle, which is pretty skewed, looks like the top lane was pretty well matched up too.
Yeah, the thing is, if you think about it, is that you're saying they all matched up pretty well. I mean, it was pretty even across the board between them, but it was just that little bit of ump that they needed, that objective control.
Yeah.
And maybe if they had a little bit more of that, they could easily compete with these teams.
And that's definitely what separates the best teams from, I guess, challenger level teams, is the objective control. It's just, if you don't know how to look for these picks and look for ways of progressing the game, every single thing you do in the game, it should be progressing the game towards a win.
Right.
And it just seems like these teams feel like if they just farm out the game and they're like, well, I hope something happens that makes us win. It's just not going to happen. You need to be trying to control objectives, control vision, and try to get picks. Like, you're gonna progress the game on your own. If you look at a lot of the ways the Korean teams and the very high-level LCS teams play, once they get a lead, the game is done. It doesn't matter how small the lead is. And that's why throws are so much less prevalent in these LCS matches.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking that's a perfect example. I mean, Gambit. You give them a finger, they'll take your whole arm. They will never drop a lead. And the thing is, even if you do seem to somehow beat them or at least be ahead of them, they're still out farming you. They're still out objective controlling you, and that keeps them in the game. And I really hope that paiN looks at this games that they play against Millenium. I hope they sit down and talk about it. As RNA likes to take off the shirt a lot. I don't know. I want to do that right now too. But I hope they look at this and take a great experience from it, and hopefully take the objective control that they've been able to really use and kind of work on that. Because if we look at it, I mean, across the board, if you look at the 80 carries, the BRTT 268 CS, the 279 of creatine, I mean, they didn't really lose their lane that bad. I mean, yes, they lost it because he died quite a few times in lane, but he's able to match up against them. Minerva, his Syra, I have to say, was pretty damn good. His grassroots were spot on. His String of Thorns really separated the entirety of Millenium in these fights. It's just they didn't have that little bit of communication or the synergy they needed in the fights because of how far they fell behind.
Yeah, you got to remember, it's pretty even in that lane until the jungler and the mid laner started showing up down there. And Kurt definitely made his presence felt. And he came and they cleaned up that whole fight, and then he ended up getting Dragon off of that. And I think that was what really teetered it over. And they also had that, yeah, they ended up all getting caught. RNA ended up cleaning them all up under the turret. And I think that, yeah, that one fight just swung the game so hard. And it's just really hard to come back from that, especially with the way Millenium was controlling objectives.
All right, yeah, and paiN, I really hope we keep seeing more of these teams. I mean, I'm not sure if this is your first time seeing the Brazilian scene. I don't know if you tuned in last year for Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo, but overall, what's your thoughts on them? I mean, minus the whole objective control.
We actually played against paiN Gaming and the team that won the tournament and beat them. Go. So, yeah, they feel like good players. And they're like, oh, wow, this guy's actually pretty good in lane. It's just, when it comes to team play and the further the game progresses in, it's just, that's where I feel they have trouble. And I think if they get good coaching staff, good analysts for these teams that can direct them a lot better.
Oh, that was wet.
Yeah, that was a little.
Oh, that was a little chubby off that. But anyways, that is it for me and Safe Fishes. Thank you very much for